I'm filling up my trunk today with some goodies from the thrift store. I'm taking you home with me. I'm going to show you what I got. Not only am I going to show you how I DIY some of them, but I'm also going to show you how I style them throughout my house. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Maria. This is Gathered Home with Maria. If you're new to my channel, welcome, subscribe, stay a while, and come on in. Hey guys, my name is Maria. Thanks so much for being here. In today's video, I am going to show you some amazing thrift finds that I found between two Goodwills near me. Some of the pieces I'm going to share with you today are pieces that I am going to be DIYing. I'm going to show you how I DIY some beautiful baskets that I found. Baskets and chairs are definitely two of my obsessions when it comes to thrifting. I absolutely love them. Sometimes I need to just walk away. Just walk away. The other way, blinders on, walk away. That's very difficult for me to do. So I found a few beautiful baskets that I'm going to be using in our home for decor, as well as some beautiful pottery, some beautiful glassware that I'm going to be using in a future video to kind of DIY your own pottery vases. I also found some beautiful glassware that I'm going to be incorporating in a bar cart video that I'm going to be putting together for our dining room. It's a lot of beautiful pieces that I love to share with you. I am jumping right into today's video with this beautiful silver plated set that I found at Goodwill. I was so excited when I found this. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the little kind of rosette details in the clawed feet. And as soon as I saw this picture, I couldn't help but think of Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. And all her little, all these little mini pots, I just thought they were so beautiful. They're definitely tarnished. They definitely have a ton of wear, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean them up. I'm going to show you how I do that. And then we're going to make them look new and old again, all at the same time. So I loaded my slop sink here I lined it with aluminum foil, and I poured in some baking soda and salt. Now this is via Pinterest. It says this is a great way to kind of get the tarnish off. And then you add in boiling water. So I did that here, and obviously my sink is big, so pieces were not fully submerged in the sink, but I was kind of turning them around, and I am DIYing this and was planning on changing the color anyway. I just wanted them to kind of give them a base clean, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. And as you can see, I'm showing you kind of the line of where it's touching the foil and the baking soda and not. It definitely worked. It definitely helped. Didn't make it look totally brand new and shiny, but again, that wasn't necessary for what I was doing. Now I'm taking the pieces outside. It's a beautiful, warm, sunny day, and I am laying it on my paint towel here. And okay, so this is a total fail, an unnecessary step. I bought this thinking it was for like rusty pieces to make the spray paint adhere better. No, it's not. This is why you can't be on the phone with a girlfriend when you're in Lowe's, because you need to concentrate. So I was doing this totally, it wasn't necessary because I was spray painting this a brass color, not this color. So this was unnecessary. You don't have to do that part. Yeah, I'm showing you that this is a paint and primer in one. So I wanted to I like the look of silver, but I'm definitely in my gold era. And I wanted to give these pieces that look of just antique brass. Now, this is the only brass they had at Lowe's at the time. It's called Sunlit Brass by Rust-Oleum. It is a pretty color, but like it said, it's sunlit. So it definitely has more of like a brighter tone to it. But that's okay because I was planning on antiquing it with some wax. So I got each of the pieces sprayed down with that brass color, and then I'm going in with it with my antique wax. And I use this stuff on everything. I used it on my last DIY video where I DIY'd a beautiful cane chair that I had thrifted, and I use this stuff literally all the time. And I'm using that same wire brush that I get from Dollar Tree. I love these brushes. You can wear them down. They come in a pack of 4 or 5 for $1.25, and they're probably my number 2, if not number 1 brush that I use the most. And I'm just going in with this wax and I'm really making him look distressed. I think it's so funny that the new thing is now to make clean up old things to make them look old. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like we're taking pieces and we're making them old again, but different. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I know this isn't for everyone. I know some people might be looking at this video cringing, like, how could you do this to these pieces? But you know what? I adore these pieces. I just love pieces with a story. I don't mind kind of, making them my own. Otherwise, who knows where these things would wind up. I mean, surely somebody could have purchased them and left them as is. But I am going to display them beautifully in my dining room on a bar cart eventually, or on my hutch. And I just think they came out absolutely beautiful. And it's exactly the look I was going for. Kind of that rusticy, antique brass look. And I think they came out just perfect. I'm going to show you indoors out of the sun kind of what they look like in the house. And I think they just came out so beautiful. You'll have to let me know if you're someone who would have definitely left it as is. I'm showing you there was kind of like not a crack, but a line down the picture that now actually looks beautiful. And I definitely went a little more heavier with the wax in these areas with all the detail. And I think they just came out beautiful. And I'm super excited to display them in my dining room. I can't wait to decorate with them, and I'm going to be doing it in a later video, so be sure to be subscribed because I'm going to show you how I use these in our dining room, and I'm so thrilled with how they came out. These are pieces, when I do this or I make my own crafts or whatever it is, I think to myself, my kids are going to have these one day, and it's a nice thought. If anything, my daughter maybe, or, my daughter-in-laws at one point. Oh my gosh, can't believe I just said that. But I definitely make things and upcycle things and DIY things with my kiddos in mind. Love how those turned out. This is a picture frame that I saw. It's $4.99. And I must be in my rosette error because it has those beautiful kind of rosettes at the corners. And this picture is actually lovely. It's a beautiful picture. When I saw it though, I knew exactly the picture I wanted to put in it. So this is a 10x4, which is like a wonky size for a picture. I even went on Walgreens and see if I could get it that way, but you can't. But the picture that I'm using actually works out great because I ordered it in an 8x10. So I have the width. That's the same, but I just had to cut down the height. And because we're kind of holding hands and spread out long in this picture, it just happened to work out perfectly. So this was a DIY in my mind at the thrift store that just happened to work out perfectly. And that does not always happen. I'm actually saving the top part because the clouds are just so pretty. But I'm getting this put in this frame and I absolutely love how it looks. I am not doing a thing to this frame. All I did was clean it up and shine it up with some glass cleaner and kind of wipe down the little nooks and crannies. But I think it's going to look so beautiful on my fireplace. And I'm going to show you how I style that with some other thrifted finds in just a little bit. But don't sleep on the picture frames at Goodwill. They are absolutely beautiful. Now we are moving on to this piece. When I saw this, I hesitated, but I'm just very much into this rattan wicker for in the home look. This was $8.99, which is why I hesitated a little bit. I really didn't want to spend $9 on it, but I left it. I walked around the store. I came back to it, and I thought that it would look really nice in my family room. So I'm showing you here when I was cleaning it up and peeling off the stickers, it actually came from TJ Maxx and it was $14.99. So it wasn't a huge savings, but it was nonetheless. So I just cleaned it up and I gave it a coat here of paint. That was it. I just painted it with the paintbrush. I didn't really worry so much if I got paint on the wicker. It wasn't a big deal. I just wiped it off with my finger. So I just applied 2 coats. I let the first coat dry completely before I went ahead with the second coat. I knew I kind of wanted to use this as a magazine rack storage for the family room, the kids' Legos magazines and stuff like that. I just thought it would look pretty in there. I just put together a bookcase for my family room, and it's kind of got that same rattan-ish look to it. Like, I'm very into this cane chair look and this rattan or wicker or whatever you want to call it look. And I saw this and I thought it would just look great in the family room. And I don't have any place to put magazines, so I'm going to show you how I style that in my family room in a little bit. But now we are on to this vase, tomato, that it is a Hearth and Hand vase. I actually want to look it up and see if this is still available. $29.99 originally. I got it, I think that says $7.99 or $8.99. Yeah, $8.99. So I got this beautiful Hearth and Hand vase for $8.99. It does have a few little scratches on it, but I actually didn't mind it at all. I think it just added to the look of it. I gave it a good wash and I put it on my fireplace. And that was it. I didn't want to do anything to this. I knew I just loved the color when I saw it. And that was I walked in Goodwill and it was right there on the table. So that was just an awesome score. That beautiful picture frame I put up here on my fireplace as well. And I just think it looks really great. And I wind up putting some branches into that vase a little bit later that I find in my basement. But here's the magazine holder, or what I'm using as a magazine holder. And I think it just looks perfect. And for $8.99, it coordinates in my family room. I use the same black paint that I've been using on some accent walls in our house. So perfect. Love it. I had mentioned previously that I have a chair obsession and a major basket obsession. I have to talk myself out of getting so many baskets. It's crazy. I could just, I don't even, should have a room in my house just for baskets, but I found this beautiful kind of green lined basket. I'm definitely in my green era too. I couldn't sleep on that. That was $5.99. I found this little cutie. I'm a sucker for a little cute basket. This was $3.99. Just adorable. Absolutely so sweet. I found this one as well. That was $3.99, and I just loved the wooden handles of this and kind of the intertwining of the whole look of it was just beautiful. And then this one, this picnic basket was $7.99. I actually left it, and I went back about a week later and I found it and it was still there. And I said to myself when I left it, if I come back and it's still here, I'm going to get it. It's mine. Does anybody do that? Like, it was meant to be. So I snagged this one up, and I'm kind of showing you these things are dusty. They kind of had a musty smell to them. They definitely needed a really good cleaning. So I'm going to give you a tip on how to clean thrifted baskets, your own basket. I fill up our downstairs tub that doesn't get much use other than washing Ellie's paws with warm water and Dawn dish soap. And I let these soak in the tub. And it does wonders. I'm going to show you in a little bit what this water looks like. I just put them in, and the water is already disgusting. But we're going to come back to this in a little bit. Hi, everyone. I thought while the baskets are cleaning in the bathtub that I'd share with you a few of the other goodies that I'm going to be DIYing. Some of them I am keeping as is because they are just so beautiful. But some of them we're going to be doing a little bit of a makeover on. So I'm excited to share with you what I found. I am starting with this absolutely beautiful wood picture frame. Looks to me about a 5x7 size, but just this wood is absolutely beautiful. I don't know that I'm going to do anything to it. If anything, I might maybe just mute out the orangey tone of it, but it's absolutely beautiful. So heavy and weighty, and this was $4.99 at Goodwill. Another thing I always keep my eyes out for when I'm at the thrift store is any type of vessel. So that can be any type of vasing, any type of urns of some sort, any type of plants, pots for plants, anything that is a vessel of some sort. And you always look past, any thrifter will tell you, you always look past the color and you're really going more for the shape. So right now, those clay, antique, kind of pottery style vases are all the rage, and I absolutely love them. I've bought a few myself from Home Goods and that sort of thing, but I've also DIY'd a bunch throughout my home. I did a beautiful, huge vase that I had found on clearance at Kohl's for right around $7, I believe. And I made it into a chalky, kind of distressed, beautiful vase. It used to be green glass, so I just absolutely love it. And I've done it with a couple of other smaller vases as well. So I'm excited to use these next two finds for just those things. I thought that the shape of this one was just so irregular and special and totally something you would see on the shelves of any high-end store right now in that kind of pottery tone. So I'm definitely planning on DIYing this one, and this guy was $4.99. I also came across this beauty. This is so weighty. This is $5.99. It is beautiful. I absolutely love the shape. Now, I had left it in my trunk a little too long and it fell and it chipped here, but I'm not getting too discouraged because I'm thinking it's just gonna go with the vibe of what I'm gonna be doing with this. And I do plan on making a video. I want to go back and collect a few more pieces similar to these, and I'd love to do a video making over all these vases into pottery style decor for the home. So I'm super excited about doing that. But these were two great scores that I'm going to put aside to be able to DIY. My next find in that same realm of a vessel is this beautiful wood toned, I'm going to say it was a planter. It definitely has some remnants of dirt inside, but just look at the wood tone of this. I don't think that I'm going to do anything to this other than clean it up. I've seen a lot of vessels like this in Pottery Barn and other places, just this beautiful kind of wood tone look to it. I absolutely love it. This was $3.99, and I think that this one is just going to be an as is because I can use it in a million ways throughout my home. Super excited for this one. I walked by the kitchenwares, and that's another place where I can spend a embarrassingly long amount of time just sifting through everything. These caught my eye. I loved the brown tone of them. I loved that there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. And these can be used for so many different things in home decor and for actual use. But they were $3.99 for 8 of these. And then the kicker was, you always, every time you're at the thrift store, you always want to turn over. So I turned them over, and I was extra excited to see that they are Pottery Barn. And I imagine, I haven't opened this yet, but this one says $4.50. So in my mind, for Pottery Barn, that's probably for one, I'm assuming. Unless maybe they came in a set of 2 or 3, but they definitely were not $4.50 for 8 of them. And I paid $3.99 for all of these. So this was a huge score in my opinion. I can use them in 1,000,001 different ways, and I was so excited to find these. My next Goodwill score is this. I don't really know what this, the original intent for this was. It's just kind of a scalloped edge with the handle here. I am planning on DIYing this, cleaning it up, maybe turning it into a black or an antique white of some sort. And I see this as a really beautiful decorative candle holder with kind of a wreath inside with the candle kind of nestled within the wreath. Or you could just put regular decor on here, or this would just be beautiful alone as is. And this was $4.99. My next two finds are some glassware. I have a bar cart that I have yet to put together. It is sitting in a box. It is from Amazon. I'm super excited about it. I've been wanting a bar cart for our newer dining room area. We are doing in the middle of renovating our basement, and a portion of it is going to be a bar. So we're no longer really housing wine glasses up here and that sort of thing. Everything is gonna kind of relocate to the downstairs area. But I did just want to keep a little something up here. And honestly, just to make it look super stinking cute, because I just love the look of a bar cart loaded up with lots of tchotchke cute things. I am going with a gold theme. The bar cart itself is gold with like a faux marble. So I'm definitely looking for like brassy pieces. I just DIY'd with all the antique bowls and stuff like that. So I'm planning on using those in there. And then I'm also planning on using these. I found these for $3.99. It says they are Lennox. And I didn't even take them out of the bag yet, but they're just these really, I can't show you in the bag, really beautiful kind of brass rimmed, I don't know, I'm so bad with glasses and what is, you know, I don't think this isn't a wine glass. You're gonna have to let me know what this particular type of glass is, but I was super excited to find them. It is Lenox. They have the stickers on the bottom, and there are 4 of them in this bag for $3.99. So it's basically $1 a glass for a beautiful piece of Lenox. And then when I found these, I was all in, and I was like, I have to find some more matching pieces. And I did. I came across these, and they are the same exact line from Lenox. I'm actually gonna look these up and see how old these are. It says Lenox Laurent hand blown. I don't know if you can see that. But these are like a smaller type wine glass. They're absolutely beautiful with that same brass kind of ring around the top. And again, these came with 4 in the bag as well for $3.99. And I just thought these were such a score. They're basically $1 a cup. And I'm really excited to use them on my new bar cart. Now I'm gonna go check on my baskets. The bathtub might be overfilling at this point. We're gonna shut it off and we're gonna let them soak for about a half an hour or so. I'm gonna get them outside, let them sit in the hot sun, and then we'll be able to do our little DIYs. Super excited. I'm gonna rinse them off for us with my shower nozzle head here. Might be a little echoey in here. I have our baskets are soaking. I can already see how dirty the water is. It's kind of gross. I'm just gonna turn these because obviously these guys want to float. Spread the bubbles out a little bit. You can totally put something on top and weigh it down, but I'm just kind of rotating it. These kind of are already submerged under. This one is big, so I've just been kind of turning it. And that way, look at how dirty the water is. Ah! And this is a great idea, not only to do with thrifted baskets, but to also do with just baskets in your own home. You don't really think of them as getting dirty, but these things collect major amount of dust. And I'll give them like a little vacuuming once in a while, but doing this, especially if you keep like blankets and, you know, just things that you're going to be actually using, you just would rather keep them in a basket that's not full of dust. So this is a great way to do this. So we're going to let these kind of soak for another 20-30 minutes. And it's a beautiful, warm, sunny day outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them out of here when they're nice and clean. While I let the baskets finish soaking, I brought those glasses into my sink and I'm just giving them a nice wash, getting them squeaky clean, brand new, good as new, and I can't wait to use these in my bar cart. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I'm definitely going to have so much more decorating, so much more DIYing, and my bar cart kind of decorate with me is definitely something I'm excited about. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and let's get back to the baskets now. I have to show you this water before it drains. Look at how dirty. Wash your baskets. Wash your baskets. Oh my gosh, the water is so disgusting. I mean, it's pretty bad. And I don't really think there's any other way to get your baskets completely clean like this other than doing this. So definitely soak your baskets in the bathtub with warm water and Dawn dish soap. If you want to add some vinegar in there for some sanitizing purposes, then go for it. We're going to head outside and let them dry in the sun. You want them to dry really, really well. Wicker does become porous and a little bit bendable when it's wet. So you really want to make sure it dries really, really well. If you have a warm, sunny day, then take advantage of it and put them outside. I had them on my deck here for the entire day and they dried so nicely. They look brand new. If you want to go the extra mile, you can take a toothbrush that you have just for cleaning and really get into the nooks and crannies of the baskets. Don't mind Ellie, she sees the Amazon guy. But the bathtub did such a great job that I really didn't even have to do that. I came over here to wash these dishes, so I just went ahead and took the tape off. I have one of them in my messy sink right now. And lo and behold, they were $4.50 each, like I assumed that they would be since it's Pottery Barn. So what a steal for $3.99 for 8 of these beautiful little plates. I found these olive branches in my basement. I've had them for a while. I used to keep them in my kitchen. This is from the Sonoma line at Kohl's. They were super affordable. I'm sure I got them with like 3 coupons and some Kohl's cash. I am thinking I'm going to try them out in this vase for right now. I have an olive tree kind of over there in my kitchen. I love olive trees. I'm actually currently looking for a dwarf olive tree for my dining room, but like a real tree. Anyway, I'm going to try to put these in here and see how they look. They might be a little too wild. I don't want them to block the TV, but we're going to try it. What do you think? I'm kind of loving it. I bended them and manipulated them a little bit so that they wouldn't be blocking the TV too much. They still are a little bit, so I might have to tweak it, but I don't know. I'm kind of loving that. So we have 2 thrift finds on my fireplace mantle, my Hearth and Hand vase over here, and our picture frame with our family photo in it. So I think I'm loving it. Tell me what you think. I think I love it. I may change them out maybe next time I go to Hobby Lobby and the florals are on sale. If I see something I like, to maybe just break up the green against the green. But I think for now, since these were free and I had them in my basement, I'm totally gonna leave them up here. But I love the way they look in this vase. Love. I actually really, it's hard to tell on video, but I actually really like the way it looks from far away too. The baskets are now 100% dry and I am ready to do some DIYing. So this picnic basket, I had in mind a super rustic-y, kind of worn look in mind when I went ahead and started painting this. So I am using spray paint. I just find it's the easiest way to do baskets, especially one this big. And I had a little bit left of one white and then I'm going ahead with another white. So didn't matter. One was linen white, one was like farmhouse white, but they doesn't matter. I wanted to finish the one can. So I'm getting a good spray on this one, really getting it around, not worrying about it too much to be fully covered because I'm going to go back on it with some other paint, but I'm letting that dry, and in the meantime, I'm going to this little basket here. Now, originally, I'm not sure what I was thinking. I was going in with a paintbrush and chalk paint, but this basket was just too intricate, and it had, as you can see, kind of layers, and the paint just wasn't getting in there. So I went back to my good old spray paint, the same exact color. I believe this is the farmhouse white. It's either farmhouse white or linen white, and I am spraying down the entire thing. This basket, I wasn't sure what my intent was going to be for it, but I do show you later towards the end of the video what I wind up using it for, and I think it turns out really cute. But I just went ahead and sprayed it, and then I let it dry a little bit, and I'm going just back with a paper towel, and I'm basically picking the paint off, which it's like, you know, one of those things. You're painting it, and then you're taking the paint off. But I just wanted to give it a real chippy wood look. And that's exactly what this does. You just take that paper towel, rub it off, and I love it. My big picnic basket I brought inside a few days later after it had completely dried, and I'm going with it with my wired paintbrush that I love. This is either Jacobian or ebony stain. It's a darker brown stain, and I'm basically just distressing it. I'm going around the entire basket, kind of pushing it in, making it a little bit heavier in some areas and spreading it out more in other areas. And this took me a little bit. It's a big basket. I really love it. And I just wanted to get that really worn in look. I wasn't really sure what my intent of this basket was going to be. I saw it with some pretty flowers in it. I was thinking of putting wood in it by my fireplace, but I didn't wind up liking the way the basket looked by the fireplace. So I'm going to show you where I wind up putting it for now. But I really knew that I wanted it to be worn and kind of used looking and that sort of thing. So now that I did the stain, I'm going back at it with a little bit of black paint. And that's it. I liked kind of the variation of the stain being darker in some areas than others. And I felt like could use some of that black, darker look to it in some areas. So that's just what I'm doing with that same wire brush. Get yourself some of those brushes from Dollar Tree. They're great. And this is how it turned out. I stuck a table runner that I'm currently not using on a table in it with some greens that I had in my stash in my basement. I have it over here in our bench area when you walk in our home, and I just think it turned out really beautiful. Looks very worn, very vintagey, farmhouse. I love it. I don't know that it's going to live here on this bench forever, but for now, this is where I'm going to keep it. I think it looks really great. I love the way all the layers of distressing came out. That pot, I'm not sure if I showed you this pot. I can't remember now. But I believe I did. This pot, I couldn't believe I found. I saw something very similar on the Antique Farmhouse site. A little bit lighter in tone, but I just love this pot. I stuck some hydrangeas in it. I'd cut them down and put it in there here on my distressed DIY'd cane chair that I recently thrifted, and I'll link that video below. I just think everything turned out really beautiful. My final DIY thrift find of this video is going to be this right here. I'm not sure what the original intent of this was, but when I spotted it for $4.99, I knew I wanted to turn it into a candle holder. So I'm taking it outside after I gave it a good wash, and I sprayed it down with some black spray paint, some black matte spray paint. And I think it looks beautiful. I think it kind of brought it back to life. It goes with my black accents here in our family room. I had some of this thinner burlap ribbon that I thought would just look really sweet on the handle here, turning it into a cute bow. Then my original idea was to set a wreath into it with a candle. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I have this wreath that I recently made with greens from Hobby Lobby. I absolutely love it, and I am kind of nestling it into this piece, pushing it down almost as if it was like sitting in there. And then I have my Better Homes and Gardens candle that I love. I burn it all the time, and I'm placing it in here, and I think it looks really sweet and elevates it a little bit and gives it kind of that farmhouse antique look. And I wanted to insert a picture here of what I did with that other basket. I decided to use it in a refresh that I'm doing in my kiddo's bathroom. That's going to be coming in a later video. And I just made it a little beachy theme. This is what we have going on in their bathroom currently. And I think it just works perfectly with the little seahorses. And I think it's super cute. As always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one.
I've been losing sleep. What to do? Could somebody come and take me away? I've been in the deep without you, and I got it in my head night and day. But we are one step